Welcome to the sideshow. Like, share, comment, subscribe.
Well, I was working on my Volkswagen, and the progress is slow but steady. I do believe I'll have it done by Groundhog's Day, which was my projected date. But as I was sitting here working on it, I heard this pop, and sure enough, the ghost of the Red Baron basically gave up the ghost. And it was the typical thing that happens with these, and that is the final rubber band popped, and the head just came loose. And so I thought, well, I should replace the rubber band. So I took it apart, and then I thought, well, if I replace the rubber bands, it's just going to pop again because that's the way it is. I think that's the main reason Monogram never really decided to re-release this, is that there was definitely a problem with the kit. Now I'm grateful that Atlantis came out with it, but it still does have that same problem, and that is the rubber bands. Well, they rot and they pop, and then you have no way to hook the skull to the stand. And what I decided I would do is go back and, well, at first I was just going to put in new rubber bands, but instead what I did was I grabbed this stuff that I have. Hold on. It's right here. This is artificial sinew. Now, you can get this at Michael's. You can get it at almost any craft store. You can get it through eBay also. Just look up artificial sinew. Comes in a variety of colors and stuff. What this is really used with is in leathercraft and everything else like that. And so I have it because of my other hobby, the knife hobby. But basically, what it is it's well, exactly what it says. It's fake sinew. It has a little bit of give, but it's basically like a waxed string. And what I decided to do is I was just going to use that because it does have a little stretch potential in there. And it's a good size for it, about the size of a rubber band. And I basically tied that in place. And I think I've tied it up correctly. I was going to look at the instruction sheet, but I can't find the box for the kit right now. And the instruction sheets are in the box. I do have a second one, but it's sealed and I don't want to open it yet, which is odd because I usually open a kit when I first get it. If I buy a third one, maybe, because I'm hanging on to one because I have a feeling they're going to go out of stock. In any case, I think I strung it up right. So you have the one, if these were rubber bands, the backside would be there, and then this would be here. And then this is the top portion there, and that's supposed to allow the head to bobble. And you can see this is much tighter than the rubber bands are because there's not nearly as much give in the sinew. And I just made it as tight as possible when I put it on there without bending in the skull. So now I'm going to attach the skulls back in place again and finish snapping it all back together. Oh, by the way, this skull, it was painted believe it or not, that is a mixture of Tamiya flesh and white for the skull color. The teeth are white, and then I gave it a dry brushing of gray over the skull. And then the inside of the eyes, I painted black, and then got the little beady red eyes because that's the way Tom Daniel wanted it. He did not want the glasses on it. That was added by Monogram because they didn't want it to scare little kids. Any case, let me get it back together and see how it works. Okay, I got it in place, and you see there is a little give in it, but to call it a bobble head would be a little ambitious. It doesn't bobble. It just does have a little bit of give in it, because the sinew is much tighter, and well, it's just not going to give as much as the rubber band would. But there you go. That's my Ghost of the Red Baron put back together again using artificial sinew. And the thing is if nothing else, it seems to stay in place better. So, is it the best option? Well, it depends on how much you want the head to bobble. But for right now, I'm going to go with that instead of the rubber bands. And that's the cool thing, because this is a snap kit. You can always take it back apart and put in rubber bands if you want to. But it is definitely holding in place, and I'm not going to hear that familiar pop of the rubber band anytime soon. So now I've got my Ghost of the Red Baron without rubber bands. And you can do it yourself, boys and girls.
Thank you for visiting Toby's Sideshow of Scale Styrene. If you liked what you saw, please consider giving it a thumbs up and leaving a comment. Share it with your friends, and please subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll know when the next episode is up online. Thanks again for visiting, and see you soon.